Are you at that point in your life where you look at yourself in the mirror and you don't know who you are anymore? You don't know what you enjoy doing. You don't know any hobbies. You don't even know what you want to do tomorrow, much less for the rest of your life. And you spent so much time taking care of everybody else, which is why you are confused and have no clarity on this part of your life, because you've given it all to everybody else. You've raised your kids. You have worked the job. You've taken care of your spouse. You're taking care of the household. You're doing the homework, the laundry, the grocery shopping. You are present at all of the school activities. You take the kids to their ball practice and the dance recitals. You do all the things. And now that your kids are grown and out of the house, you don't know who you are anymore. That was me. I remember I was 57 years old and my husband and I were sitting out in the backyard watching a ball game. And I remember thinking to myself, like, what now? What am I supposed to do in this next chapter? I wasn't ready to retire. And honestly, at that point, I really thought that I was just going to keep working the job as long as, it felt good. I was going to keep working the job. And then there was a knock at the door. And it was a lady with CPS who was letting us know that our grandson had been born the day before. Now, we didn't know that our daughter was pregnant. We didn't know that she, obviously had the baby. It was literally, our life changed in a second. Hey there, my name is Norma. I'm a Life Reimagined coach, and I help women over 50 rediscover your purpose and your passion so you can live this next chapter of your life in your abundance, not worry about living on a fixed income. If you want to know more about my RISE method that I created in order to get my business up and running successfully, and I coach other women how to use the RISE method framework also in their lives. It's not just to start a business, it's a way for you to get into your abundance, whether you want better relationships, you want to get healthier, you want to earn more, whatever it is in your life, it's going to show you step by step how to get to your abundance. I would love to share it with you. It's free. I'll put all the information down below in the show notes. In the meantime, let's get back to the video. Now, immediately, we knew we were going to step up and take care of this baby. We knew that we were going to bring him into our home and we were going to raise him. We didn't know what that was going to look like. We didn't know how we were going to do it. And we just started telling ourselves and each other just one day at a time, one step at a time. That's how we're going to look at this. And that's how we've raised him. And he's now 4 years old. And what I want to share with you is yesterday. So yesterday he had a dental surgery and he was going to be put under anesthesia with an IV sedation. I was a nervous wreck. I was in dentistry for 35 years. I was a dental hygienist. I knew all about sedation. I knew all about treatment and all the things. But for whatever reason, when it came to my baby, my little grandson, I was really, really nervous. And so when I took him to his appointment yesterday, he was all excited because I'm not going to put my fear onto him. And I was really trying to keep that fear under control because I have faith. I know God's got him, but at the same time, he's my baby. So we go in and he's excited and we go through the procedure and everything went well, by the way. He did great. But immediately the anesthesiologist starts asking me all these questions. And he's asking me things about, like, has he ever had surgeries before? Has he ever been through any kind of procedures before? Has he ever had these different kinds of medications? Was he a full-term birth? All these kinds of things that I don't know all the answers to. And it was really starting to trigger memories from when he was born. Things that I never even thought about. I never thought about if he was a full-term, birth. I never thought about any of those things. And it also started triggering memories of when we found out about him, we found out that he had been born, we knew that our daughter was by herself. Like, she gave birth alone in the hospital all by herself, other than the doctor and the nurses. the point being, like, she didn't have her family, she didn't have her loved ones around her. Now, yes, that was by her choice, but as her mom, that was something that always bothered me, because I've always felt like, nobody should go through something like that by themselves. And it was something that, again, it just started triggering a lot of old emotions, a lot of feelings that I hadn't felt, I hadn't dealt with. It brought back a lot of memories of me reliving scenarios and situations that we'd been told, because we didn't actually see our daughter. We hadn't had contact with her in a really long time, but we were hearing from the doctor and the nurses about how it all went down, how she basically walked in labor and had him, and then left, which is how the CPS lady ended up at our house. Why am I sharing this with you? Because whenever you are dealing with someone out in life in general, you don't know what they're going through. Whether it's a potential client, whether it's the cashier at the checkout station, whether it's the man that you ran into at the gas station, in the grocery store, your neighbor, you don't know what people are going through. And you don't know when one certain situation could trigger something in their past or in their memory that they didn't even know was there. And it can all of a sudden make them upset. That was me. Like, I was very emotional yesterday, and I was very emotional about the fact that my grandson was going under this IV sedation. I was very emotional about that because he's only 4, barely 4. And also because I was reliving all of this sadness and trauma that is related to my daughter and her illness. And I just want to say to you, give people grace and give yourself grace. If you're someone who is raising a grandchild, it's hard. There is no easy way about it. There is no way for me to say that, I have all the answers, because I don't. I wish that I did. But I can tell you that I see you. If you're raising one or multiples, maybe you're raising great-grandchildren. Maybe you're taking care of your parents. These are situations that are very relevant to us at this point in our lives. And people who aren't going through these things, they don't always understand. People try. They try to understand. Family, they want to be there to support, and good friends, they want to be able to relate, they want to help. But the reality is that our lives go on. And people who are not in these situations, they don't know how to help, and they can't relate. And even me raising a grandchild, I don't know your situation. It's very different, right? How you came about raising your grandchild could be very different, and probably is very different from the way that we came about raising ours. But I wanted to share this story with you because you never know what people are going through out there in this world. And you never know when very innocent, simple questions, interactions are going to trigger something for them. And this is just something that came up for me. If you're a woman and you are at this next chapter of your life and you're ready to make changes, and maybe you feel a little bit stuck, like you don't really know how to move forward, maybe you are raising a grandchild and you just don't know what to do. You don't even know who you are anymore. Like I had said earlier, you feel like, who am I? What do I like? What do I enjoy? I don't even have time to think about any of that stuff. It's time for you to focus on yourself. And I would love to share with you my RISE method. It's a framework that has helped me to not just build my business, but build my life, to actually build a life that I never want to retire from. Now, I was able to take off all day yesterday and spend time with my grandson. I was able to process through him and his, coming out of his anesthesia and, the numbness in his mouth, and me processing all of my feelings yesterday. Like, whoa, where did all that come from? And I wasn't expecting any of that. And I didn't have to worry about my business because my business is still running and it's still moving and I'm still earning. And if that's what you want also, and you want to build that life of balance and you want to do it from a place of love and joy, reach out to me. I would love to have a conversation with you. And if anything that I've said here you can relate to, please like and subscribe to my channel, and I would love to see you on the next video.